watching Fox Local.
These images here, live look for you from Arizona Snowville. It is snowing in the high country. Pretty windy. You can see that American flag there off to the right blowing around. And I think it's rivaling a little bit of what we're seeing up through Utah. It's a big storm system. I follow Solitude on Instagram, and some of the ski slopes in Utah look a lot like this.
Yeah, looking like winter out there. This is from downtown Phoenix. This is near 5th Avenue and Washington. Just some cloudy skies out there and a few little raindrops still maybe lingering out there. But all in all, things are kind of starting to move on out of here, right, Crystal?
Line that we had, guys, has kind of broken up. Now it's some scattered showers in the valley. The heavier stuff, as Celeste mentioned, really getting a good hit in the high elevation. So let's start there. This is Flagstaff, a live view. Those dark clouds that we have showing off the rain in downtown Flag, the snow up on the San Francisco peaks. We're at 42 degrees currently there. There's the look in downtown. We're at 73 right now with clouds overhead. And how about it? That's the look at downtown. Like I said, still some scattered showers, mostly moving over parts of Scottsdale and Tempe. We'll talk about if any rain gets to the East Valley coming up.
All right, speaking of rain, we're going to chat with Danielle this morning. And it looks like you said, Danielle, you're getting a little bit of rain.
So it's been hit or miss, a little spotty this morning, but we are on the 101 southbound, just passing Cactus. If you guys can flip to our outside camera, you can see a little bit of those spots that we got just moments ago. That was the one spot that we had some rainfall in particular. So they are a few left on our windshield here. I don't know if you guys want to take that camera. All right, there you go. You can kind of see them. But yeah, we just passed through right past Cactus, 101 southbound. That was kind of a little downpour right there. And then, of course, just like the Arizona weather here, it's gone the second we drive down to Shea Boulevard. So this is exactly what it's been all morning long. Very hit or miss, very spotty. We have seen it start in the West Valley all the way heading to the eastbound here. So now we're in the Scottsdale area, but we do have some overnight video we want to show you guys. So that is the 303 and Northern. That happened right around 5:15 this morning. You can see just how wet those roads were from that early morning rainfall. We also have the I-10 and Saraville Avenue at 5:35 this morning. I think we have that video next. There we go. Same story. Very wet roads out there after the rain fell in that area very early this morning. We also have some video from the Loop 101 and 19th Avenue. That happened right around 6 o'clock this morning. So you guys can see just the difference from very early this morning until now. It's definitely drying up out here. The roadways were pretty wet up there, even though the rain stopped falling. We were up at the 303 and the I-10 interchange there. That's kind of where we saw the most moisture this morning on the roadways so far. But yeah, now driving around here on the Loop 101 here in the Scottsdale area, we're heading towards the East Valley right now, but things are dry out here. So you might see a little bit of the rain left on the roadways here in the morning hours during your morning commute. And as we know, because it has not rained in so long, this little amount, even just sprinkles, can lift up all that oil from the roadways here and make things very slippery and slick out here. So definitely pay close attention to that. But it does appear that things are drying up. We do see a lot of heavy cloud cover, but the sun peeking through in a lot of these areas here. So it looks like things are drying up at this hour, but we'll take the cooler temperatures, we'll take the sprinkles, we'll take anything we can get, especially after our record-breaking summer and fall.
I was gonna say,
we'll take it. We'll
anything is better than what we had last week. We were talking about those triple digits and brutal heat. Now we're talking about some rain and some cool temperatures.
So nice. Roll those windows down. Let those blonde locks blow in the wind. Thank you,
your head out like a dog, Danielle.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far, but...
All right, well, we want to see your photos and weather videos. If you can safely take them, we'd love to see them. All you have to do is scan that QR code, especially if you live up in the high country and you start to see some of those snowflakes maybe start to fall. We'd love to see them. Again, you can just scan that QR code. It'll take you right to our website where you can upload them, and we will use them right here on air. All right, let's take a look at some of our other top stories that we're following on this Monday morning. We have a Fox follow-up for you on that deaf black man with cerebral palsy that was hit and tased by Phoenix police.
The charges against that man have now been dropped. In a statement, Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell says she personally reviewed the case and met with senior attorneys and members of the community. She made the decision to dismiss charges against Tyrone McAlpin. In body camera video, officers approach McAlpin and quickly get into an altercation with him when he did not follow orders to stop. Well, his wife showed up later and she told officers he could not comply because he is deaf and has cerebral palsy. Police documents say officers had been looking for a suspect in the area there of 12th Street and Indian School who had been in a fight, and it turned out to be unfounded. Both officers reported injuries after the encounter with McAlpin, which is why he had been charged with aggravated assault against an officer.
It didn't happen in a vacuum. The city of Phoenix has a history that's been well documented in the last year by the Department of Justice. Asking for patience is no different than asking for a delay and putting things off.
In a statement, the Phoenix Law Enforcement Association said they are appalled by Mitchell's decision to drop charges and that it stands, quote, behind our officers and thanks the men and women of the Phoenix Police Department for their service to our community. In the race for the White House, the former U.S. president will be campaigning in Arizona today.
Former President Barack Obama will be holding a rally in southern Arizona. Obama will be speaking at the Cole and Janine Davis Sports Center on the University of Arizona campus. Doors are going to open at 2 p.m. today. He will be encouraging voters to vote early and to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris and Democrats down the ballot. Obama's visit to Arizona comes a little more than a week after Harris spoke here in Phoenix and after former President Trump's visit to Prescott Valley last weekend. Meanwhile, President Biden and former President Clinton will also be in Arizona next week, but details about their visits have not been announced just yet. Let's take a look at some of our other top stories we're following on this Friday. A driver has been indicted for murder following a deadly crash that left a teen dead this summer.
Yeah, we're getting some new details at this hour. 18-year-old Nathan Chaidez is now facing charges of second-degree murder and aggravated assault. It was in Buckeye in the West Valley near Verrado Way and Sunrise. Back on June 20th, police say he crashed into a tree while driving at more than 100 miles an hour. Police say 18-year-old Yaritza Vasquez was killed in the crash. Chaidez and a 15-year-old who was also in the car survived.
And we take a look into the arrest of a man wanted in a deadly double shooting earlier this week. Officers say 49-year-old Refugio Jimenez was caught following an extensive search. He was wearing body armor and tried to dump a gun once police found him. He's accused of killing 29-year-old Rashad Johnson and injuring a woman in a shooting outside of an apartment complex near 7th Avenue and Southern. Jimenez now faces several felony charges. The Arizona Task Force 1 back home this morning. The Phoenix Mesa-based FEMA task force deployed to western North Carolina September 27th following Hurricane Helene. Welcome home to all of you who have really helped out families in the southeast. After 3 weeks of helping victims, 16 Arizona Task Force 1 vehicles pulled back into the Phoenix Fire Department's special operations site. And you see some of their family and friends with signs and maybe some youth supporters as well, just outside welcoming them back. Loved ones, of course, showed up. The homecoming of the team's 45 members. It was pretty amazing. Phoenix Fire Deputy Chief Chris Healy was the task force leader for this deployment. He said this one was different than others he's been to in the past.
Been deployed with Arizona Task Force 1 7 times now. This time I went out as the task force leader. What's going to stick with me the most on this one is just the sheer scope and scale of this incident and the amount of impact that the storms had across that part of the country.
Very rare where you have one Helene coming through and then Milton. You had 2 hurricanes, one after the other. Big thank you to the group. Look at all these men and women who made their way out to the southeast. Thank you to you and your families. Healy says he is proud of the work the team did to help communities in North Carolina.
The ASU researchers present the latest findings on the city of Phoenix's Cool Pavement program.
So this is part of a bigger push to really combat urban heat, what we're seeing here in the middle of downtown Phoenix and across the valley. This started as a collaborative effort with the city of Phoenix back in 2020. In ASU's second round of findings, researchers looked at how effective the cool pavement technology is, and they did see at least some benefit here.
I think it's really promising that you can continue to recycle and use these products over time. That's a big saver in money. However, there is a lot more that we need to understand and how it works over the long term.
Researchers do stress they need to track the results over about a 5 to 7 year time span to better understand the widespread impacts of the technology.
Well, a computer chip maker is pushing up the start date for its new Arizona plant. In an earnings meeting, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company says it will start production of chips in early 2025. That's earlier than expected. The site was originally scheduled to begin sometime in the first half of the year. The Taiwan-based company also announcing a $10 billion in profit for the past quarter.
Phoenix City leaders here have approved a series of speed limit changes around town, 20 changes in total, but some of the largest streets impacted here are listed on your screen. I believe we're going to put them up for you in a brief moment. Full list for you of some of those roadways posted right now as well on fox10phoenix.com.
All right, we were talking about some major freeway changes as we head into the weekend. Celeste, are you ready for it?
Sure, why not? Do I have a choice?
You really don't have a choice because we got a long laundry list of some of those closures. So let's get right out to the maps and we'll walk you through these. This one's fairly small. The I-10 westbound is going to be closed from the US 60 to the I-17 split. That's going to begin tonight through 4 a.m. on Monday. Now this next one is a biggie. The I-17 southbound is going to be closed from Peoria all the way to 7th Ave, and that's going to start tonight through 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then they're going to do it again, but in the northbound direction. So this is going to go from the I-10 split up to Peoria. And again, it's going to begin 9 p.m. on Saturday through 2 p.m. on Sunday. So you might want to just kind of avoid the 17 or make sure you're checking your calendar to figure out which direction will be closed. Loop 101 northbound from Frank Lloyd Wright to the Pima Princess area is going to be closed beginning tonight at 10 p.m. through 5 a.m. on Monday. That's a fairly small closure. And then we do have the Loop 101 eastbound. That's going to be closed from 51st Avenue to 19th Avenue beginning at 10 p.m. tonight through 5 a.m. on Monday. And then we do have the I-17 southbound. That's going to be narrowed for the next 3 nights. So Friday into Saturday, Saturday into Sunday, and then Monday morning, Monday night into Tuesday morning. I need to fix that graphic.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I totally understood every single word.
Narrowed from the 74 to the Loop 303. If you're looking for something to do this afternoon, why don't you head on over to the fair? It is another Feel Good Friday at the Arizona State Fair.
And the temperature is a whole lot better
Yeah,
today
right?
than they have been. So you can get a free ticket by bringing 10 cans of non-perishable food in. And that food benefits St. Mary's Food Bank. Fair organizers say fewer people have attended the fair this year because of that heat wave we were just chatting about. Feel Good Fridays goes from noon until 6 tonight. Also tonight at the fair, they're at the Coliseum concert. It's the I Love the 90s tour featuring Vanilla Ice, Rob Bass, and Montel Jordan.
We've been singing.
This is how we do it here on a Friday.